Hey guys, how's it going? So tonight we are gonna make some dinner, obviously, but we're gonna use our Instant Pot. Kris uses this thing way more than I do, but I'm growing. It's growing on me. And this dish we're doing tonight, I found on a 365 days of Crockpot Instant Pot cooking. Great website if you ever get a chance to check it out. They have a dish for every occasion. And this one is called Old Yeller Casserole, even though I don't think much of a casserole, but that's okay. That's what it's called at any rate. And it's based off of a recipe that came from something else that I don't remember, that I'll put right here or down in the description, one of the two. And but it sounded really good. You know, I mean, it's got hamburger, it's got onions, it's got I'm using fire roasted diced tomatoes, Dijon mustard, salt and pepper. Basically, just easy, quick stuff that we're gonna dump in this bad boy and go. And it actually, whether you're cooking it in the Instant Pot or the slow cooker, it's pretty much the same deal. There's only like one defining difference, and that's how you cook the hamburger. But that's all right. Some quick housekeeping. I am sick. I don't know with what, but I go tomorrow, even though there will be a video tomorrow, for a CT scan of my innards to find out what's been ailing me, or at least start the process of it. And so we'll see how that goes. But I wanted to make you guys aware of it, only because there may come a week or so here and there that I may not get 2 videos out, like last week. You know, we missed dessert, and this week I should have 2 videos out this week, today and tomorrow both. But I want to make you guys aware, just in case. And I don't really know anything to tell you, so as of yet. But like I said, I go in tomorrow for CT scan, and we'll take it from there. But I wanted to let you guys know why. If it comes down to I miss a video here and there, might be why. So anyhow, that being said, if you're new and this is your first video, welcome. I'm glad you stopped by. Hope you get something out of this video. Check out some of my other ones. If you're returning or one of our many new subscribers, welcome back and thank you. You have no idea how much that means to me. You know, our neighborhood has never stopped growing, and I think that's awesome. You know, I mean, we're not in the millions or anything like that, but we're small and mighty, right? Don't forget to like, subscribe, and share. Comments always welcomed, hands down. I respond to all comments. If you take the time to type, I should take the time to respond. All I ever ask is you be nice. You can disagree with me or anybody in the comments. Just be polite and think before you type. That's all we ask. So, that being said, why don't we head on down here to the counter, and we will get started on putting this together. All right, hold on for me 1 second. All right, we're down here at the counter. I've got my Instant Pot. So, like I said, you could also do this in a slow cooker. A 6-quart slow cooker, your normal, everyday, like we use here all the time on the channel, slow cooker. Here's where the only difference is. We're about to brown up some hamburger. If you're doing it in the Instant Pot, you're just simply going to put it on the saute option on high, medium high, depending on how fast you move. And if you're using the slow cooker, the crock pot, you're just going to go ahead and use a pan, you know, a cast iron or otherwise, and you're going to saute. You're going to cook up your hamburger, brown your hamburger, and cook your onions with it. That's really the only difference. Everything else is pretty much the same. So anyhow, first thing we got to do, we got this warming up, and that's good. And I've got 1 pound, 454 grams of just 80/20 hamburger. Now, this recipe did call for a lean ground beef. So, I'm not using a lean ground beef because I don't own that. I don't have that much money. Lean ground beef is expensive. So, what we're going to do first is I'm going to go get a spatula real quick so I can chop this up, and then we can talk about it next. Okay, I'm back. Got a wooden spoon spatula type gig. We're gonna break up our hamburger real quick while we got it in here, and I've got this set on high in my case, which I need to start it because I'm special. And what we're gonna do is we're gonna break this hamburger up, and then we are gonna put in sorry, my head has got 2 things going at once. 1 medium onion that I just diced up, not fine diced. You make it any size you like, you know, but this is just diced, you know, about yay big, right there. And we're gonna put this in, and we're gonna go ahead and brown our hamburger and saute up our onion. We're gonna let this cook for about 5 minutes. Okay, so I've got our hamburger brown. Onions are starting to go translucent. Been about 5 minutes, and it's okay if your hamburger is not fully cooked all the way through. This is going to cook on a low slow cooker setting on the Instapot or in your slow cooker for 3 hours. So it's not like we have to worry about it. So we're going to go ahead. Let's go ahead and turn the power off. We're good right there. I don't have a whole lot of grease in here, so I'm just going to go ahead and leave what little I have in here in. But if you have a lot, yeah, like if you're using a 70-30 or 73-27 or whatever it is, you might want to drain a little bit of it off. But we're not adding any chicken broth or anything to this. So only juice we're going to have in it is in the ingredients we start adding next, which I've got one 14.5 ounce, right? Yep, 14.5 ounce, 411 grams worth of roasted diced tomatoes. Now the original recipe just called for plain old diced tomatoes, but I had a can of roasted, and I thought, ooh, that would be a good flavor to it. So I went ahead and opted out for the roast. Get that stirred in. Next thing we're going to put in is a teaspoon of salt, just like such. A teaspoon of pepper. Both of those are 4 grams each. And if that's the way we're measuring, is with grams and kilos, then it's 4 grams each of that. And we'll go ahead and get that stirred in. Then we're going to throw in a 1/4 cup, 55 grams of light brown sugar. Go ahead and get that in there, just like such, which will give it a nice sweet flavor. And you may be thinking to yourself, brown sugar, really, Brian? It's it's not a dessert. And you're right, it's not. But sometimes when you add sugar to a dinner dish or just a meal in general, you're not so much looking for it to be sweet like a dessert. What you're doing is you're balancing out the acidity of like the tomatoes in this case, and the hamburger and the onions. And we're about to add in a tablespoon, 20 grams of Dijon mustard right there. And in this case, this also has some horseradish in it. Throw that in there. But what it does is it cuts down some of that acidity level. What could happen without it is your dish could turn out tasting bitter because of the acidity level. And that happens a lot when you're making spaghetti sauce too, or Italian dishes. Tomatoes are very acidic, and they can really wreak havoc on the acidity level if you're not careful. But anyhow, so we got our Dijon mustard in there. We got 2 ingredients left to add. As soon as I get that stirred in a little bit better, we're there. So the last 2 ingredients are going to be, as soon as I get them separated, there we are. I got one 14-ounce, 15-ounce can of kidney beans, and I drained them and rinsed them. I don't know why they say drain and rinse. If you're rinsing them, you've already drained them, right? But I've got them rinsed. I'm going to dump that in there. Give that a good quick stir, just like such. And then the last thing we need to add to this, I have got 3 strips of bacon. Now, I went and I bought 2 different kinds of bacon, right? We're not cutting the bacon up or anything. We're just going to throw it in here because we're not actually going to eat it. We're just going to let it cook in for the flavor. But for this particular recipe, I bought a cheaper bacon. I didn't buy a thick cut. I didn't buy it from the Amish store. I bought it, from the grocery store. Cheapest bacon money could buy, because I knew it had to be fatty and that we weren't going to eat it. Now, you probably could eat it. Way around that would be to cook the bacon, save the grease, and then that way you can put the grease in and the bacon in at this stage right here, and that way you have the flour and the bacon. But this recipe that I'm following said we're going to discard it at the end. So the next thing we want to do is we want to find the slow cooker function as soon as we turn it back on. Slow cooker function. And we are going to put it on for 3 hours. Oh, there we go. Maybe. Oh, hold on. I'll be right back. It calls for the other lid. Hold on. Okay, sorry about that. This is the first time I've ever used the slow cook on this, and I did not realize you needed the pressure lid, but you want to leave it on vent, I'm assuming. So I've got it on high, so we're going to turn it down to low, and then we'll set our time for just 3 hours. Maybe, if I can get it to go that far. Nope. Yeah, and then we'll hit start. So when I come back, we will give it a look and talk about what couple little things we can add to it. All right, see you here in a second. Okay, so we've been 3 hours and timer has gone off, so we're pretty much done. I mean, that was the extent of cooking everything. So we'll go ahead, we're gonna get our lid off of there and get the juices in there, because why not, right? And the next thing we need to do is just go ahead and get the 3 bacon strips out of there, and they look tired. Yeah, so far I think that's about the only thing I would maybe change. I think I would honestly, instead of letting the bacon just sitting there and giving its flavor away, I think I would maybe cook it a little, you know, cook it, cut it up, and throw it in there to add that flavor to it. And then the next thing we want to do is go ahead and give this a stir. You know, not that it's got a whole lot going on. I mean, we are literally just beans, burgers, and onion with some spices. Here, let's go ahead and I'll bring you over here so you can take a look real quick. But yeah, right there we are. But just give it a quick stir around just to make it happen. As this was cooking, I was thinking of, you know, just some endless possibilities that could be done with this. You know, noodles, things like that. We put noodles in there, some rice in there, but at the same time, we're still going to dress this up. A lot of it has to do with the toppings, and this is just a quick throw it together type meal, you know, that you can walk away from for a little while. You could double this recipe and, you know, have it on a Saturday during football, you know, or just if you're having company over as something to go with another dish. You could have this with tacos. You could have the, I mean, it's a comfort food. You know, everything in here is just nice. So now that we've got that done, we got it stirred up and it's done and it's ready to go. Like I said, toppings are the big thing here. So what I'm gonna do with it is I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna just put some cheese and some jalapenos on here. And depending on how it tastes, I may add some salsa to it, right? And I honestly feel like in some ways this is more of just a base to get things started. But it is a recipe and it smells good. I mean, it smells absolutely delightful. Kris even noticed it when she got home. I was thinking you could have some Spanish rice with this would be good, or some Mexican rice. Some refried beans would also be good. You know, but there we are in the bowl before I top her all off. And then I've just got some cheddar cheese here, some sharp cheddar I'm gonna throw on top of that. Sounds like Abby is getting ready to be served. Now, shove the lid down and move that out of the way a little bit. And then the last thing I'm gonna put on there is some jalapenos. If you like jalapenos, you really should check out this recipe for these canned jalapenos. They are, I've got 2 different versions. One is just a regular jarred jalapeno, and this one is more of a pickled jalapeno. I mean, they're both pickled, but it's got spices added to it. And it really just off the hook, you know, hands down. Cornbread would go good with this also, I think. You could change up the beans. You could put more than kidney beans in it. I mean, there's just a million and one ways I think you could serve this, but I think it looks fabulous just the way it is. Now we're gonna have, hold on, there's one more thing that goes on it. I don't know how I forgot. This is like the most important thing. Corn chips. No, I'm not sponsored by Frito, but there was in the recipe, barbecued at that, but you use what you like. I can honestly say I've never had the barbecued ones, so I don't know if I like them or not. I mean, we'll see. But take your corn chips, sprinkle it on top of that, just like such. And now we have a completed dish, right? I think that'll make a difference. I'll tell you what I've learned. I've been obsessed with in a little bit lately. Remember a few weeks ago we made that Dorito casserole? Those sweet and spicy chili Doritos that I put in that, I can't quit eating them. And I don't like regular Doritos. I mean, they're okay at best, but those on the other hand, amazing. All right, let's give this a try. Let me get it back. Yeah, let me get a good view here first for you guys instead of right up me all in your face, talking nonsense. I apologize, about that. All right, there we go. Much better, much more better. All right, let's give it a shot. Get a Dorito in there, or two. That's pretty good. For only having a handful of ingredients, I mean, it's literally salt, pepper, and Dijon are the only spices. But it plays well with everything, especially the barbecued Fritos. I'd be curious to see what other chips would taste like in this. Hands down. Yeah, that's nice. That is really good. I think you guys would really like this. You should give it a try. If you do, leave me a comment down below. Or find me on Facebook. We have a group, Mr. Smith's Kitchen. I try very hard to get on there once or twice a week. Doesn't always work. I'm old, and social media is not always my friend. Not that I can't navigate it. It's just not something I'm into. When I grew up, me and Kris both, we went to people's houses. We, traveled to talk to people. We didn't just jump on social media. So at times it's a bit challenging, at least for me. She's really good at it, but, I guess I'm old or something. But either way, guys, let me know if you try this. Tomorrow for dessert, I'm not quite sure yet what we're gonna have, but I have a list of 5 desserts that I'm going to make. So I've got the next 5 weeks planned out. I just don't know which one I'm gonna do when. So we will find out tomorrow. I guarantee out of any of the 5, they're gonna be good. They're gonna be unhealthy. They're gonna be, can't stop eating them. But they're seasonal, they're good. There's some requests. I got one coming that doesn't have egg in it for conversation. I have got that water pie from the Depression in there. We have got a couple different apple desserts. We have got a butter pecan and caramel bundt cake coming. All kinds of stuff. So desserts are going to be fun. I think dinners are too. It's winter. It's getting cold out. It's fall. It's time for soups, stews, and casseroles, and all kinds of fun stuff that I like to do at any rate. So until tomorrow for dessert, I love you. I love you very much, and I mean that from the bottom of my heart. Tell somebody else that you love them and love them very much. It's going to make them smile either way it goes, whether they need to hear it or not. It's going to make you smile and feel good to tell them. And if you make them some of this old yeller casserole here in the Instant Pot, or even in the slow cooker, either way, they're going to know that you love them, and it's going to lead to an evening of conversation. Bring the family together for sure. Or friend, right? Somebody you haven't talked to in a while. Call them up, invite them over for dinner. Make them this. They'll remember why they were your friend. So anyhow, till tomorrow for dessert, I love you, and I'll see you then. All right? Bye-bye.